Mr. President, my highly esteemed colleagues, please permit me to lead the debate on this very important bill which seeks to extend the implementation year of 2020 appropriation from 1st January 2020 to 31st March 2021. The bill was read the first time in this hallowed chamber today, Wednesday, 16 December 2020. As you are aware, prior appropriation acts in the recent past were passed mid-year, and as such, implementation was usually extended to the following year. However, these extensions were usually covered by the Appropriation Act by a clause along with the following line, and I quote, "In line with the provisions of Section 318 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, this act runs for a period of 12 months starting from the date it comes into effect," unquote. On the contrary, the 2020 Appropriation Act, Clause 12, states that, and I quote, "In line with the provisions of Section 318 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, this act runs for a period of 12 months starting from 1st day of January to 31st day of December 2020. However, Mr. President, my respected colleagues, the 2020 capital budget implementation has progressed at a low speed due to mainly the unforeseen prolonged lockdown occasioned by COVID-19 pandemic. As a result of the above, most of the MDAs were projected to have a huge unutilized balance, as much as 70% of their capital releases by the expiration of the 2020 Appropriation Act as provided for in the relevant section of that act. And also, you will note that during the real hard time of the COVID-19 pandemic, most of the ministries were operating on a very light mode. In fact, most of those who are concerned with the official work, grade level 12, from grade level 14 down, were ordered not to come to work at all. And these were the major people who were the implementation arm of the various MDAs. Therefore, a lot of the work in the implementation of the capital project of the ministry was not undertaken because of the lockdown. I therefore, given all these issues, urge my colleagues to give full support to this bill in order to allow the MDS the full utilization of the capital releases under the 2020 Appropriation Act in order to reflate the economy, particularly during our COVID-induced recession. Thank you very much, Mr. President, and thank you very much, distinguished senators.
I rise to second this very important motion that the implementation of the 2020 budget should be extended to 31st of March 2021 because of the reasons mentioned by the leader. In particular, the COVID-19 pandemic made it virtually impossible for MDAs to start procurement process in time. As at now, we still have procurement processes going on in a number of ministries and agencies. So it is right and proper to extend the implementation of the 2020 Appropriation Act. This is the only way the ministries will be able to implement whatever releases that were given to them. Secondly, Mr. President, we need to implement the budget at least by 70 to 80% in order to reflate the economy. If you don't spend, what is budgeted, the economy will be in flight mode, and we won't get out of recession. It is for this reason that I wholeheartedly support this extension, and I urge all my colleagues to do the same. Thank you very much.
I'm Kabiru Gaya, represent the people of Kano South from Kano State. Mr. President, I want to commend the mover of this bill, distinguished senator and leader of the chamber, that there is a need to change the implementation period up to March for this budget. As I could remember, even last week I was in my constituency. Some of the projects we put in our constituency, you just started foundation. And they have not even collected the mobilization. And they're scared that by December, these funds will be mopped up. And if we are allowed to let this thing goes to March, it means the funds can be utilized for the budget, and at least we'll relieve some people that are under hardship who could be active laborers or contractors on those sites. So therefore, I second this bill and support. I encourage or appeal to all my colleagues to support this bill so that it could be passed, and then the implementation should be done by the executive. Thank you, Mr. President.
Distinguished colleagues, do we need to go on the debate, or we just take this? Okay. Is there anybody against the bill? Okay. Those in favor.
Related Matters 2020, second reading.
A bill for an act to amend the Appropriation Act 2020 in order to extend the implementation of the capital aspects of the budget from 1st January 2020 to 31st March 2020, and for related matters 2020, second reading taken. And thank you very much, Leader. Before we go to the third reading, let me say that if you want to know the contribution of this 9th National Assembly to the economy of Nigeria, don't go far away from looking at the time we passed the budget last year. This 2020 budget is responsible, largely responsible, for our ability as a country, as an economy, to have least effect and impact of the complications of COVID on economies. Bigger economies suffered much more than we did in Nigeria. We went down by 6%. If the budget was not passed in December last year, it would have been worse. And that is one of our contributions to the economy of Nigeria and to our country. Thank you very much, Leader. Of the Senate.
Mr. President, my highly
A bill for an act to amend the Appropriation Act 2020 in order to extend the implementation of the capital aspects of the budget to 31st March 2020 and for related matters 2020, third reading taken, and the bill is passed. Thank you very much, distinguished colleagues. But because what we have agreed with the House did not hold here, we have to constitute a conference committee that would have to engage the House, because the House may pass theirs probably different from what we have passed here. So, Leader, please give me a list so that we can, or before we close, we will announce the Harmonization Committee to engage the House immediately after we close, so that we have the same amendment, because we have to take the report probably tomorrow. And I believe that the House may be doing the same thing now, but probably in a different way. Leader of the Senate.